what? Your 532 is due today? So 532, if you didn't turn it in yesterday, it's due today. 533 we can go ahead and look at real quick. Although the main, assuming everything is normal tomorrow, we'll review that tomorrow again. Hey, Vanessa, do you need some help figuring out how to put that away? Ship it, but we don't say it. You don't say it, because then it won't happen. Like, when a pitcher is, throwing a perfect game, and he hasn't had any hits, in the 7th inning, you don't go, oh, I wonder if he's going to get a perfect game. That jinxes it, right? Don't be a jinx. All right, 533. It's what law? Murphy's Law. Actually, I think Murphy's Law is what will go wrong, what can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah. All right, any remaining questions from 532 since it is due today? 110. Those are not the answers. If you copy them down, I will laugh and I will give you a check minus and we will talk about copying answers. We talked about 110 yesterday. Those are not the actual answers. You got a hand up? Sorry, I got to figure out where my music is playing from and stop that. Okay. One what? That's not from this homework. That's from 533. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. We'll do that in a second. So 532, any last requests? Antonella. Which one? Sorry, you got to speak up. Which one? 112. That was one of our order of operations problems. This deals with exponents, or what we nickname powers. So here's another view at A and C. Guys, your work should look a lot like mine, where you've got your steps written out. Give it a second. We got to be patient. I love all my technology, but sometimes it needs a moment. So we do the parentheses first, then we do the exponent. And the note we made up here is that 5 with an exponent of 2 means we're going to multiply 5 twice. Exponents represent, they're a shortcut for writing repeated multiplication. So then we're going to do this multiplication and then the addition, and we're done. Good. Now, so guys, that is why we check homework. That realization moment of, I got it now. Yeah, that's why we do this. Aiden?
5 times 11, 111b.
So we talked about this one yesterday as well, but I did it a different way yesterday, so I might as well go ahead and throw some credit to Mr. Meineke back there and go ahead and do the Meineke method. So if I take my ticket price of $7.50, which is 100%, and try to find 10%, which would be down here, it'd be this one box, I divide by 10, right? And we said that we like this method that Vincent taught us because division by 10 moves the decimal. So 10% here is 75 cents, which means 20% would be double that, right? So what's double of 75 cents? It's $1.50. And then we add that to the original price. Does that make sense, Aiden?
Yeah.
All right. If you got any other questions from 532, I would ask that you come to math lunch because we only have so much class time that we can do this. That's why we have those other times built in. If you don't have 533 done, please don't copy. We'll check it again tomorrow. But if you have questions, I'll take a question or two because nothing's going to happen tomorrow. We'll have class like normal. We'll talk about it and we'll collect it then. John? So let's go back and check 533 tomorrow, right? Because it's probably going to be more important then. But reminder about 533, it has your example of how to work the 5D process, right? So we started this yesterday. We're probably through today and tomorrow going to talk about why the 5D process sometimes is silly. Not all the time, but sometimes. So please make sure you have some work down here for the 5D process. This is not something where you can just like copy the answers because it's you. It's you making guesses and adjusting. So let's go back to our packet from yesterday. And I think this was exactly what we had written down because I think I used my pencil for you guys. So we had split the defined space into the small side, the medium side, and the large side. But we said that the medium side is actually s plus 7. So I'm going to make a little note. My medium side is actually s plus 7. And what's our long side going to be here? 2 times s, right? Because they told us the longest side is twice the shortest side. So 2 times s. I don't think we had a chance to guess anything here. So I will tell you, like, the guess you probably already saw in my paper from the other class was somebody guessed 3 because 3 works really nicely with 7, right? What's 3 plus 7? 10. But then something weird happened. When I do 2 times 3, what do I get? 6. And would that make this the longest side? No. So I think I messed it up. I don't think this guess is good, and we're going to check that in the do spot, because what are we doing with these numbers? So what do we do, though? How do you find the perimeter? Add them. So when we add them, we get 19. Is that 39? No. When we're too low, what do we do with our guess? Go higher. So take a couple minutes with your team. Try to figure out the lengths of the short and medium and long sides that make a perimeter of 39. So since it's too low, we adjust up. If you get this one done, you can go ahead and flip to the back and start looking at that one. Try 5, you can jump all the way up to 10. I did not go all the way up to like 20, that's probably too big. So whatever your team is doing, do it together, I would suggest. If you're working with each other. Make sure we slow them under the mask, right? I want a handful of goldfish right now. They're extra light. Oh, I thought you said extra sugar, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't know that Antonella needs extra sugar. Wait, okay, so your first guess was 6. You decided to say, forget Mr. Hudson. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Hurts my feelings. What is 27? Oh, when you add these up? No, you're right. That's 27. So you're still too low, right? I was about to say 10's a pretty big jump. So I see you already wrote down 10 feet. That's just a pretty big jump. So I think careful jumping that. Try it. One of you can try 7, one of you can try 8. If you want to like try both at the same time, then you can't really check with each other. So you went up to 6. So wait, if 6 was still too small, wait, wasn't the medium side the small side plus 7? So I think our medium side might be tweaked up. No, your long side's good. We said the medium side is s plus 7. Yeah, I think that medium side needs a little tweak. Hey, for anyone who came in here late, give me your attention real fast. If you came in kind of late, you need all 3 of these papers up front. Those are your homeworks to ride you out the rest of the chapter. Okay, people were just asking me why do you only give them out one day at a time, and my honest answer is normally that's as many copies as I make, and then I get busy doing other stuff. So, that's the rest of the chapter. I'm sorry / you're welcome. I don't know, it depends on how you feel about that. So, I saw a lot of you trying 6 next, but be careful when we adjust for the medium side. 6 plus 7 is a tidbit tricky. It'd be 13. This would be 12. Yeah, and again, the large number is not bigger than this is broken, right? And this is too small because this comes out to be 31. Layla, did you try 7? Did it work? No. Dang. Kylie? 8. Try 8? So what is 8 plus 7? 15. What is 8 times 2? Ah, finally this is not broken, and my large side is the largest. What's 15 plus 16? 31, then plus 8. Ooh, I think we got it. So that's 39. Woohoo, got it. So we declare, right? Hey, make sure we declare. Oh, did I tell you the secret yesterday that this is getting turned in? This packet will be turned in. It's a super secret because you shouldn't know yet. Because it's going to be like a pop quiz. I don't do secrets and pop quizzes. That's why I'm saying this as a joke. I'm telling you the secret. This is going to get turned in. Okay, the whole packet. So if you're not doing this, please do it. S is 8. M is 15. And L is 16. That is our declaration because we figured it out. I'm not even going to help you get started. Flip to the back and look at Travis and Angela. Remember, we're going to highlight or underline stuff and then write it down mathematically. Let me check if there's something on it that we need to do together. This isn't the back, is it? It's the front of the next page? Yeah, front of the next page. Sorry, I lied. You're looking at Travis and Angela. Please check. You're looking at Travis and Angela. John. You can turn in 533 if you're done and you really want to. Thank you for announcing that to the class, Kylie. I'm not even joking. Like, that's a good reminder. You want to say it again, just louder?
Product is multiplied.
Yeah, product is multiplication. Uh-oh. Product is multiplication. So instead of adding up in the do that we do is going to be multiplication here. So you might write a little reminder in your do. Right here, we're writing down the mathematical of what we hold. Okay, and then this, how do we write this mathematically? The difference of my numbers is 4. Yeah, like 1 is 4 bigger than the other, or 1 is 4 smaller than the other. You can say either, because either way they'll have a difference of 4. You don't need to be done yet, right? But I want to suggest, a lot of you are writing down something about 2 positive numbers. You could go ahead and say, like, A and B, or X and Y, or something, and then we can say both positive. But then, they tell us the difference of my numbers is 4. Gotta use random cards. Mia, how do we write that something has a difference of 4? subtraction. So for that statement, we could say the difference, which Mia just said, subtract A minus B is 4. Or if A is the bigger number here, you could say A is B plus 4. Either of these statements makes them have a difference of 4, because 1 is 4 bigger or 1 is 4 smaller. We could also say B is A minus 4. There's a bunch of things we could say here. Either way, A is the bigger number. That, like, I'm making A the bigger number. So I'm going to label A and B. And if A is my bigger number and I make A like, I don't know, like 8, what would B be? 4, right? So this is the sort of stuff we're doing. So keep working. Keep going. I don't think my guesses are good. I think I'm way off. I'm so close. Hey, you've got a lot written down, and she's got not much written down, making sure we're all doing it together. So even though you might be like making your guesses and being like, oh, just right along with you. So pick a number. Pick a number. Just pick a number. Okay, so we're all good. We're all good. Pick a number. Any number. I wouldn't make it crazy. What do you want to start? Start with if B is 4 smaller than A, what's that mean? Take 4 away from your guess. Then we do, we wrote up here, we're going to check the product. So we multiply the numbers. So what is 10 times 6? What's your right? Because we're trying to get to 96. 8 plus you made B your bigger number, which is totally fine. What? You just got it? Like first try? Hey, Zeus is back here flexing on us. On the first. You guys are just too good. It doesn't matter which number is bigger. It really doesn't, whether A is bigger or B is bigger. But how I wrote this, my A is bigger. So when I go to check or do the do, I do 8 times 4 and I find out this is way too low. Right? Way too low. Way low. So we're going to adjust up by a good amount. So, John, you got a suggestion for me? 8 and 12. So I'm going to go ahead and write 12 first since I made my first number my bigger number. 12 and 8 then, because I take away 4. 12 times 8. Aha! Got it. Questions on this? Flip to the back and try one more. Potter Valley. We're back to Potter Valley, the people at the basketball court. Crap. Hold up. We should be highlighting right now, and you should have found a problem. Well, I mean, this whole thing's a problem, I guess. But when...
Good morning, Phoenix. Charlotte August, please come to the office. Charlotte August to the office, please. Thank you.
We're talking about variables first. Right? And actually, man, if you're highlighting with different colors, I have, like, run out of colors at this point. Because then they tell us all together the 5 players made... But what? Can anyone tell me the issue that I've come across when thinking about variables? John, funny that J name. We have to use different variables for Jenny and Joan. Right? So let's go ahead and say Jenny, we're going to make J. But then Joan, let's all agree on something to name Joan. We're going to probably use an A. We're probably going to use a G. We're probably going to use a T. O looks like the number 0. So let's use her last letter of her name. Let's use N for Joan. So what would we use for Grace? Probably a G because that makes sense. And what would you use for Tammy? Probably a T because that makes sense. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all working with the same variables. Jenny is J, Joan is N, Grace is G, Tammy is T. Let's figure out how many shots they made. And in basketball, this is called field goals, by the way. People get confused by that, but when you shoot from on the court, it's a field goal. No touchdowns in basketball, though. Three times as many. Now wait a minute. This is saying Jenny. Remember that she's made 3 times as many as Grace. That's not J times 3. That's actually J equals what times 3? Yeah, Grace is what needs to be times 3. What's up? Oh, Alexis! She should probably be A. I forgot Alexis. My friend Nick would be very mad because that's his wife. Can't forget Alexis. Alexis should be A. Yeah, I'm just going to put like an A over here. Hey, let's come back together for a second because I want to make sure you avoid this trap door. The first highlighted sentence. Jenny remembers that she made 3 times as many as Grace. The trap door there is multiplying J times 3. That's not actually what we're doing. Vincent? Yeah, when I pull my hands away, it normally does its job. Farah? Yeah, J equals Jenny equals 3 times Grace. Be careful how you write these out. So that should be the first thing we have. J equals 3 times Grace. What? Jenny's good. You get it? No way. Double check with your teammate. I don't believe it. So, no, this can't work, because if Jenny made 3 times as many as Grace, that's... You liar! Cheater. Phantom numbers.
I still got it.
No, you didn't. You followed the rules. Layla's breaking all the rules. Franco, can you tell me what I could write for A equals? Yeah, but I'm going to put the G first because it's kind of easier that way. Yo, Franco just gave me my A equals. You can keep working, but keep glancing up here. Make sure you've got things written down correct. Vincent, what could we write for Joan for N equals? G minus 4. Isabella, what could I write for Tammy? You're all good. No worries. Kylie, what can we write for Tammy? T equals, yeah, J, right? Because same as Joan. Crap, Joan was N. You're right. Keep your variables straight. And, oh man, all of them together, so our do is going to be sum to 40, right? Sum to 40. So this is where I got on Layla about breaking the rules. So I've got J, A, N, T. What other person do I not have yet? Well, I've got J, A, N, and T. Oh, G! We should probably, like, put G down maybe first. Because a lot of these talk about G, like Grace's shots. So Grace. And then I would be able to figure out Jenny, right? 3 times whatever Grace is. Then I would be able to figure out Alexis. Then I could figure out Joan. And Joan and Tammy are going to be the same thing. So my last 2 columns, if I make that Joan and Tammy, they'll be equal to each other. Keep playing with it. Just make sure that yours agrees with this.
You guys double check it. Yeah, double check it. I would start by picking something for G, but if Joan made 4 fewer baskets than Grace, we know Grace at least made 5, right? Because if somebody made Grace minus 4, Grace has to at least make 5. Well, at least she made 4. I guess somebody could have made 0, potentially. So here's going to be the trouble. If we make Grace 2, and we know that Joan is Grace minus 4.
Yes, it does.
Grace minus 4.
Yeah, I know. It's 3.
Minus 4.
No, T equals N.
Yeah, you make negative baskets.
T.
No, so 2 is going to be too small. So you can either erase that, or just move on down to another trial. I would probably maybe erase it so we have some extra space. Yeah, so like if Grace is 5, Joan and Tammy both make 1.
So guys, my first guess is going to be Grace at 5. I don't know that it's right or wrong or anything, but because I know Joan made 4 fewer than Grace, Grace at least has to make 4, but I'm going to go ahead and give her 5. So if Grace is 5, Joan, 3 times that 5, that'd be 15. Alexis, Grace plus 6, 11. And you can still be doing your own guesses, like especially if you already did 5. Joan is then 1. Tammy is then 1. Has anyone done this one yet? Does this work out? You haven't done it, or it doesn't work out? 26, 27, 28, 33. We're too low. So, should I jump up to like 10, or should I go slowly? Try 6? If Grace is 6, Joan is 3 times 6. What's 3 times 6? 18. Alexis is 6 more than Grace, so 12. Joan is 4 less than Grace, so 2. And Tammy is the same as Joan, another 2. When we add these up, What do we get? Ah, we got it. Questions about the 5D process. We guess, we check, we adjust. That's really the gist of what we're doing with the 5D process. That is the gist of what we're doing. Make sure your name is on the front. By the way, if you turned in 533 yesterday, I have it in my folder over here. I just wanted to let people know. Make sure your name is on the front of this, and then please bring it up and stick it in my bin. Super secret, I'm collecting these. Now make sure you've got work right now, because if you don't have work right now, you might have to come see me to talk about the 5D.
Wait, what's tonight's homework? Which one is that?
534 for tonight. Remember, we should have this filled out, like the whole week filled out in our plan book.
I do. I'm just too lazy to go do it.
Oof, that was some real honesty. Grab out your graph paper. I want to show you when the 5D process is silly. I want to show you when the 5D process is silly. Alright, I only got like 5 minutes, so please give me your attention up here. Oh, I needed to open some new packages. Sorry, I'll get more graph paper opened up. Guys, always take as much graph paper as you want. Some of it over there is like weird. It's meant to like fit into this weird 5-star notebook thing. So some of them have like extra stuff that you have to rip off the side. I'll get more graph paper open as soon as you guys leave. Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Edwards, and Mr. Richards. So what variables do you think we could use for these guys?
Oh,
P, E, and R. On your paper right now, P equals, R equals, or sorry, E second. Sorry, P equals, E equals, and R equals.
hold on, I gotta get this color.
P equals, E equals, and R equals. Try to make expressions out of what they tell you. I want you to get a head start on me. Oh, they're math teachers. What nerds.
Are you kidding?
Well, I'm a giant nerd. I really thought about getting a tattoo of pi on my arm, because then it could wrap my arm and go forever. Because pi never ends. It could be like a tribal band all the way. You don't think that'd be cool? It'd be sweet. The numbers can get smaller as they go.
You just have dots for a while.
Then I what?
You would have dots if they kept paper.
Well, pi normally ends in dots because it keeps going forever. Well, your back, tattoo on your back hurts a lot more than tattoo on your arm. So, Miss Pacheco, my bad. Miss Pacheco is 3 years older than Mr. Richards. Mr. Edwards is twice as old as Mr. Richards. And the sum of Richards' age and Edwards' age is 81. Okay, so they leave Miss Pacheco out when they talk about the sum. How could I write, like, can you give me anything else to write down, Antonella? Like, can you tell me, like, a P equals or E equals or R equals? Can you tell me something based off what we highlighted? It's okay if you need to skip. Like, I might have asked too fast. Farah? Can you give me anything to write down, like for the P equals or E equals or R equals, based off what they tell us?
P No, P equals 3 times R.
Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Pacheco is 3 years older than Richard. So Pacheco is R plus 3. Does that make sense? Jesus, can you give me another one? Can you read what's highlighted in green? So here's the real question. Can you read that or can you not see from back there? Okay, can you read what I highlighted in green here?
Edward is twice as old as
How do we do twice of something? Times 2, so Edwards is 2 times R. So wait, if Pacheco talks about Richard and Edward talks about Richard, what should we put for R equals? Just R. Here's the trick. Katie, you getting this written down? Okay. The trick is if we are already using a variable, keep using the same variable if you can. So we might as well say Richards is Richards, because R is Mr. Richards. Now, we can do what they tell us. The sum of Richards and Edwards. Okay, so E plus R. Please be writing this down with me because this is our next step. Like after the 5D process, this is our next step. Kylie, you all right? Okay. What's E plus R equal? 81. And could I replace either of those with something else? Layla Graff, you want to help me out? No? Vanessa? Flip your card over. You want to help me out with what I could replace? If I go to replace R, I only can replace it with R, really, based off what I have up here. Could I replace E with something else? Yeah, guys, check it out. If this doesn't make sense, you're going to want to come talk to me at some point, or make sure you practice it on your homework. E, we said, is 2R. So where I see my E, I can replace it with 2R. So 2R plus R is 81. I'm trying to give time when I see that people are like thinking and then writing. I'm trying to wait till people get it written down. Hold up. Hold up. 2R plus R. What's 2R plus R gonna give us? 3R, because this is actually 1R. So if 3 times Richard's age is 81, how could I figure out Richard's age? 8. Okay, just shout it out. Careful, yeah, we're going to divide by 3. Guys, what I want you to have written on your paper is that we divide by 3 on both sides. Somebody at your group can pull out a calculator, or you might just know it. What is 81 divided by 3?
27, I memorized it.
So did this feel a bit more efficient than the 5D process? Sometimes when the numbers and the variables aren't ridiculously confusing, we can just think it through. This is algebra. That's algebra. So that's where we're headed into. I'm out of time for today, but we're headed into, can I avoid the 5D process and just use algebra? All right, have a wonderful day, guys. Please make sure the packet was turned in. Homework is due today and due tomorrow. I'll definitely see you tomorrow because nothing different is going to happen. There won't be anything special about tomorrow. The more you practice this, the better it feels. Yeah. Let me pause my recording.